Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this expert panel on Virtually Yours Travel Show. And I'm delighted this morning to have experts. And when I say experts, I mean experts. And these experts are from the Kingdom of Zambia, the landlocked country in Southern Africa, which is some place I've never been to, but some place I really desire to visit because of the very, very spectacular attractions and people that they have. But these are the experts. They're going to talk to us about it. And we have Chivunga Lungu, who is the CEO of the Zambian Tourism Agency. We have Doris Coffey, who is the marketing director. We have Rachel, and she is the CEO of Going Places Zambia. And finally, but not last really, but we have Jessica Salmon, who's the owner of Flat Dogs, which is a camp in one of the national parks. So let's go straight into it, Chivunga. We have been through one of the worst pandemics the world has ever seen for about 100 years. How has it affected Zambia? How are you doing in terms of COVID? And what's the government response been?
Thanks for that question. It's an important question. Let me just correct the title so that Doris does not fire me. Doris is the acting CEO. And I am the director marketing. That's not a
Sorry,
problem.
I apologize. I do apologize. I've been given duff information by, I'm going to prove it later, but I've been given duff information. So sorry, but we'll carry on, Chivunga. Chivunga is the marketing director and Doris is the boss woman. Right, Chivunga, go for it.
Thanks. And you started really well. By first of all giving a short brief of Zambia and how Zambia is as a safe destination for tourism. As a country, we have not been closed for tourism. We have always been open, even at the height of the COVID pandemic around the globe. The country and the government of the day made a deliberate decision to keep the tourism sector open. Because we've not had the numbers that perhaps others are struggling with. Not only have we not had those big numbers that others are struggling with in the region or in the globe, we have taken deliberate steps to try and address the COVID. The decision that was taken is that business was going to continue as usual, and this business included also the fact that we would allow international travelers to still travel into the country. However, there are measures being put in place to just ensure that both those that are traveling into the country and those that are involved in the sector in the front line are protected from the COVID. This is just to ensure that even as travelers are traveling to different destinations, they feel secure about these particular destinations. They feel secure even at their point of entry. They feel secure that they can conduct their tourism activities, not having to worry so much about travel. So what has happened is that the government, through the different organizations, the different health organizations, have put across measures for those that are coming into the country. These are measures that include tests at point of entry, or coming in with certificates, or having done their tests before they come into the country. This is information that is available on different platforms, but this is not information to hinder tourists coming. This is actually information to project a picture that tourism is still open. You are coming, but we are obviously concerned about your health and the health of our people here. As you come, we just want to make sure that this destination is safe for you. So if I may summarize that, we are very much open for tourism. We haven't closed at all.
Good. Doris, CEO of the Zambian Tourism Agency, may I address a question to you? The tourists that have been coming during COVID, I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the majority of tourists that come to Zambia are coming to open air activities anyway. We're not coming for a city break to Lusaka. We're coming for, basically we're coming out into the hinterland. We're going to the national parks. We're going to camps, which is open and in the open air and open space anyway. Is that correct?
It is correct. So like we keep saying, when you go to these natural areas like national parks, these are by default physically distanced and they are open air. So most people will not worry about the COVID pandemic. And just to echo what Chavunga said, when you arrive, you would definitely be screened, just to ensure that you are safe and entering also a space where your safety is priority. So even when you go into the park, you'll find that when you're going to undertake the game viewing, for instance, the vehicles will be physically distanced in terms of sitting, meaning the capacity that was before the COVID measures came is now less. And this is to just ensure that you are conducting these activities safe, just to assure you of safety. So that is happening. It has been happening, as you heard already, as Zambia, we never closed. So the operators have put in those extra measures to ensure that as you undertake these activities, your safety is guaranteed. I don't know if during COVID, any single destination can guarantee safety, but we are very sure of what measures are in place. And we will indicate to all our tourists that safety where COVID is concerned is guaranteed. And you may recall, or if you don't know, you may be aware that Zambia has actually begun the vaccination program, and majority of our workers in the tourism industry undertook vaccination just to provide an extra layer of safety against COVID. So just to assure you yet again that other than the safety measures, even the people who will be hosting you are vaccinated against COVID. And just so we are clear which type of vaccination they undertook or were given, it was the AstraZeneca. Because we realize that most of the time you talk about vaccines, people will ask which type did you go for? So in Zambia, the AstraZeneca was administered, and most of the staff in the tourism industry got their vaccinations.
Excellent. I've got a couple of files of that running around my body at the moment as well, the AstraZeneca. Jessica, you run Flat Dogs Camp. Give me a little flavour of what Flat Dog Camp is, Flat Dogs Camp, and why it's, if you like, it's typical Zambian fare for a tourist.
Zambia is so blessed. You know, we've got fantastic national parks. So there's several different parks that visitors can go to. We happen to be in the South Luangwa, which is one of the most well-known, but Zambia is still very unknown. So we're still relatively small, undeveloped. It's beautiful natural habitat. The animals are there plentifully. They've been protected for over 40 years by the government. They've been very keen to preserve wildlife. So it's a fantastic wildlife experience, really rivaling any other in Southern Africa. We've got safari tents, we've got accommodation, similar to all the other areas where guests can go on safari into the park in open vehicles. They can walk on foot inside the national parks, which is very unusual, and do night safaris and look for nocturnal animals as well. And this is something I think Zambia is really very special for. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, one of the things that from my point of view, never been there, but I imagine, is that it's a wildlife cornucopia. You know, if you're into wildlife of any sort, then Zambia is the place to go. Can you give me a feel of the types of animals that I might be able to see if I came to Flat Dogs Camp, including birds?
Absolutely.
For example.
Including, hard. No, we have got all of the big five except rhino here in the South Luangwa. There are rhino in the North Luangwa National Park and in the Mosi-oa-Tunya National Park, but otherwise there's lion, there's leopard. We're famously well known for leopard sightings and how common people can have them here. But also our wild dog numbers have increased dramatically over the last 10 years as there's been more protection put in place and conservancy and education in the community has grown and grown. So that's leopard, lion, wild dog, hyena, commonly elephant all over the place. It's wonderful. And a magical giraffe here in the Luangwa. The feast, we've got kudu, we've got hippopotamus in plentiful numbers, crocodiles. Bird-wise, we're very lucky to have Pearl's fishing owl here, which is something lots of people are trying to tick off the list of sightings in their lives. We've got beautiful crowned cranes, we've got yellow-billed storks, we've got the carmine beaters coming here from now, they've just started arriving, all the way through to the end of October, and they're beautiful red birds in huge colonies along riverbanks. So we've got a huge variety. I mean, here in the South Luangwa alone, we've got 400 bird species. And yeah, mammal-wise, all of the big numbers that people want to see. I forgot buffalo, but we have them too.
So a typical a typical day in the life of Flat Dogs Camp is that I go for a game drive in the morning and then one in a sundowner in the evening. Would that be the format?
Absolutely right. We try and avoid the hottest parts of the day when the animals are all a bit relaxing in the shade, so everyone has time in camps to enjoy the facilities. And so we do an early morning safari and then a late afternoon safari that goes into a night drive, which, you know, for people who've never seen nocturnal animals like hyena or the owls hunting, we've got hyena hunting and all sorts, other genet, civet, species that you'll never see during the day, porcupine and such like, honey badger. So it's a fantastic experience that you can't actually do in many other countries in Africa.
Excellent. Now, Rachel, I hope you're with us. We have Going Places Zambia. I'm assuming that you sell holidays to Zambia. If so, what are the hotspots? Where should I go if I was going to come to Zambia for 2 or 3 weeks? What should I do?
Okay, thank you very much, Graham. I hope you can hear me. I'm having terrible time with my network, but I hope you can hear me.
Yes, indeed.
Well, you know, where do you start? Zambia has it all. I mean, I don't even know where to start. You know, if you go northwest, east, and south, there's activities to do in our country. So the hotspots are obviously, you know, when people come to Zambia, I think the most thing that they think of is the untamed game, which Jessica has already touched on. But, you know, aside from that, we have the Victoria Falls, which is the hub of, you know, the tourist capital. Now, when you think of Victoria Falls, obviously what comes to mind is David Livingstone. So that on its own has got its own history. But, you know, we have the 7th wonder of the world, which is located in Livingstone, Victoria Falls. Now, we co-share this with Zimbabwe. And yes, the Victoria Falls is in Zambia and Zimbabwe. So once we are there, already you can start planning your 7-day minimum number of nights to stay in Zambia, because there's so much activities to do in Victoria Falls, Livingstone. So, you know, aside from doing the guided tour of the falls, you can do so many activities. You're wild. You can come here and throw yourself off the bridge. I've done it before twice, and it's quite, you know, nerve-wracking, but it's such a thrill once you're up on the bungee. And from there, you can go whitewater rafting. The Zambezi River is classified as a Class 5 river, so it's very technical, and it's good to experience it in the high and low season. We also have the Mosotunya National Park. The highlight of this little park is we have the white rhino. And aside from that, we also have the you know, steam train that we can do. It's a bygone era. So that's, you know, brings it back to the 1920s. Excellent destination. From there, we bring you back to the lower Zambezi. We can spend, you know, 4 or 5 nights there. A different, you know, test of doing safari on the lower Zambezi. You have, you actually experience game coming to you, because most of the game activities are done on the river. So if not all, the lodges that in the lower Zambezi are all dotted along the come and drink. You can see, you know, all sorts of antelope. Bird life there is a paradise. So again, a different experience of of, doing game activities in our country. And then, we can take people to Kafue National Park. Kafue National Park is vast. It's the, size of Wales. So it's huge. And the types of animals, start from leopard to lions, you've got buffalo, you've got all sorts. You see them in this national park. And so the beauty of our national parks, as well as Jess would testify, is that Zambia is, we don't build skyscrapers in our national parks. They're small and friendly. This gives you the intimacy with your guide. So, it's a one-to-one service that you have. So you eat with these guides, you spend the whole day, pretty much, morning and evening drives with them. They're very knowledgeable. They'll talk to you about different, sightings that they have done. And, the best people to be with is these guys, because they live it, breathe it, and, see this game. So, South Luangwa and North Luangwa, Jess has already touched on that. We also have, the northern part of our country. We've got Kasanka. For bird lovers, the bat migration is amazing in this part of the country as well. So we've got the bat migration that comes in end of October, coming into Kasanka National Park, and the skies just literally get covered by these birds. So if you're into birding, come around about that time. We can also take you back to South Luangwa, amazing birds there, bird life. And from there, you can go to Lokimba. So, Zambia is a destination that you can spend a minimum of 7 nights to 21 nights. We can do it for you.
What about one of the things that that interests me when I was doing a little bit of research is that Zambia recognizes about 3 million different languages. So it's not just English. There's 100 other languages that you speak, which indicates to me a very diverse community.
You're right.
And that often diverse community mean different cultures, different habits, different food. In these days, that's something that's very attractive to people. Is that something that one would experience on a trip around Zambia?
Absolutely. Zambia has got over 70 ethnic languages. I mean, as we sit here, I don't know if I can understand what Doris language is. We could be sitting and she speaks a language, I won't know what she's talking about. But the beauty is that, we've been taught English, and then we have the local language, which is Nyanja, and everyone speaks that. So, but there are some similarities. Now, when we take people from different parts of the country, yes, you will notice that. But Zambians are very warm and friendly people. They love tourists. They love to speak to them. They love to show off what they have on the ground. And I think that's one thing that, we're known for. It's our hospitality. We embrace visitors because we love to show. We've got so much, natural resources in this country. And we want to show the world out there that, come to Zambia, we've got it all. And Zambia accommodates whether, you just want to watch the world go by or you're full of, adrenaline. It's a destination for everyone. Excellent.
Kavunga, when you're marketing Zambia, what are the things that are there sort of 2 or 3 things you often focus? Is it wildlife friendliness? What are the sort of the pillars of marketing for the Zambian Tourism Agency?
Obviously, it's something that has been addressed already, and not to belabor the point, Zambia is host to the Victoria Falls. The Victoria Falls is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's actually in its full glory right now. I was there last week. It was amazing. I was swimming in one of the natural pools there. Please come and do something edgy. If you're looking to do something edgy, come to the Victoria Falls. It's about 1.2 kilometers, 1.7 kilometers long. 1.2 kilometers is actually in Zambia. About 108 meters falling waters, a curtain of falling waters going to the ground. It's a wonder, and it's a UNESCO declared heritage site. But apart from that, Zambia is also endowed with other water bodies which are in the northern circuit of the country. The Victoria Falls is the southern circuit of the country, and obviously it is used as an attraction. But when you go north, you will find many other waterfalls in that particular area. You go into a place called Zambia, you will enjoy the beach. Sometimes you will mistake yourself to be maybe in the Bahamas, not knowing that you are actually in Zambia. Apart from that, it's a friendliness of the people. You can land anywhere in Zambia and anyone will guide you without you fearing that you will be robbed. That I can assure you. You almost converse with anyone else on the streets because everyone will be able to relate with you, very friendly and warm people. And then also the nature that we have around us in terms of the weather is something that everyone can accommodate. So no extremes, something that we can all work with. So there's lots that we can talk about for Zambia, but everything that we talk about in terms of nature in Zambia is in its full abundance. You would look to the south, you look to the west, you look to the north, or look to the east, you will find something that will definitely attract you. The nightlife also, it's quite amazing. If you are tired of viewing animals, you can still go out in the night and you'll be safe. You have plenty transport facilities right now, and infrastructure is really going up. The road network is really improving. So in terms of access to other places, this is a place to be. May I also say that within the southern region, Zambia is centrally located with a number of its neighbors around it. So it's a quick access to many other countries that you have within the region. So that gives you that vantage point. When you come to Zambia, you can go down into South Africa, you can go up into the Congo on the western side, into Angola or into Malawi, but Zambia will be most central for you if you landed in Zambia.
Lovely, thank you very much. I like the chat about Victoria Falls, and Rachel was saying about jumping off the bridge. I think I might need an injection of something more than AstraZeneca to do that, to be honest. Doris, a final word with you. Zambian tourism, I mean, as I said, it sounds an absolute fantastic place to go. Throughout the world, we live in a David Attenborough generation, whether you're 10 years old or 100 years old, everybody's keen on wildlife. I think the pandemic has made people much more aware of our environment and our wish to preserve it and to view it, in fact. That puts Zambia over the next 5 to 6 years in a good situation, I would think. Do you feel, as the CEO, do you feel confidence about tourism returning in big numbers? I think Doris might have frozen. Are you there?
Yes, yes, we do. I'm here.
Okay.
You can see me, you can hear me.
I can, yeah, now I can.
Okay, great. So, okay, yeah. I would most certainly say so, but the biggest but is the pandemic, the era we are in. So you will notice globally that the industry in terms of arrivals has gone back 30 years. So to bounce back to the levels where we were before the COVID 2019 in 6 years' time, at the moment, it's a bit difficult to say, but we are very, very confident that we will rebound. We will restart as well before the end of 2021. There are challenges, but these are being met in different ways. As we keep saying, we are open. And the whole idea is to strike a balance between sustaining the sector and also ensuring that we minimize the transmission of the pandemic. So as we do that, obviously, the normal tourism situation in terms of arrivals continues to be affected, but we're very, very hopeful. There are a number of opportunities that have been brought about by COVID-19, and we are making sure that we grab these opportunities. One of the things that has also happened is that there's been an awakening in our domestic tourism. So we are happy that even as we begin to welcome back our international travelers, there's going to be a greater opportunity for them to mingle with the people in the country, because in these places they will be going to, they will find a sort of traffic from the domestic market. You know, it really is one's visitor experience in a destination when we're very hopeful, except we cannot really say up to what levels we will be 6 years from now.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Rachel, unfortunately, has left us, probably due to technical reasons, but Chavunga, Doris, Jessica, Rachel in absentia, thank you very much. And I look forward to visiting Zambia when I can. It sounds fantastic. Thank you very much.
We'll be ready to roll out a red carpet for you at the end.
Thank you, Doris. That's the least I expect.
Thank you.